Turtle. All right, hello and welcome, Turtle Riders, to Uncle Turtle Boy's Late Night Garage Podcast. This episode, as always, brought to you by our good friends over at Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. If you got one of those old rickety garages, like I used to have back in the day, growing up, you know, where you used to store your lawnmower and crap in there, whatever, but it wasn't really fit for a car, it's time to get with the times, guys. All right, call our friends at Garage Doors Plus in Quincy up, or you can find them online at gdplus.com. All right, they will come over that day. They will give you a fair price that's going to blow your brains away. It's going to be so amazing. You're going to love it so much. It's going to be so fair. And you're probably going to hire him that day. And guess what? He's going to do the job that day. You're going to get a nice little clicker. You're going to press the thing. Boom, it goes up. You go in. You park. Boom, it goes down. Problem solved. All right. It'll change your world, make your life a lot more convenient. Check out Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. All right, so as Melissa says in the comments there is a lot to talk about this evening. I would ask, I'm going to go and share. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not sharing it. People know they know. I'm not using Facebook anymore. I was going to ask people to share this, whatever, on their Facebook pages. Yeah. Uncle Turtle Boy needs to put on his glasses. He could hit a ratchet. I got new contacts, so I'm good. I don't need that right now. So, a couple things I want to talk about that have been in... Oh, by the way, Ratchet Madness, I've been slacking on that. I'm going to do the first round tomorrow. I've been kind of busy and shit. Been going to courtrooms all over the place and stuff like that. So, I've been a little bit busy. But anyway, I wanted to talk about some things tonight. First thing I wanted to talk about was this state trooper story that I've been working on. I did the first edition yesterday. Now, this story, I saw it in the news. A lot of you guys might have seen it in the news last week. And truth be told, I didn't pay that much attention to it. You know, you see a guy, a former state trooper, accused of raping another state trooper, and he's sentenced to 10 to 15 years. And I'm going to be honest, just by looking at the headlines, you just kind of assume, right, that, like, well, they must have something. I mean, people don't just get sent to jail for 10 to 15 years in this country if it's not, you know, a lot of evidence against them, right? That's what I assumed. But I assumed wrong. You can never trust your assumptions. You always have to investigate this stuff. So some people started contacting us about the story, and they're like, yeah, you got to look into the woman who made these allegations, who, according to, you know, the media is not going to publish her name because they don't do that with, you know, rape victims, and he is a convicted rapist now, so they're not going to do that. But we will. That's the difference between us and them. We're not afraid to, if we think you're up to no good. And this is one of the shadiest stories I've ever seen. And I'm really looking forward to digging into this. All right. Long story short, here's where we stand with this whole story, right? This woman basically cheated on... I don't know if she was divorced when it first started happening in 2010, but he was married, right? He got caught banging this chick a few times. They worked together in the Concord barracks, right? He was banging her. The wife caught him a few times and tried to go to counseling, and he just kept banging her, right? The sex was too good. And it was really, really kinky shit. I know a lot about this that I'll get to later. But they end up getting divorced, right? He moves in with her, and she's got kids. And the kids apparently live with them as well. Now, she's got a husband that she's divorced, and I'm trying to investigate that a little bit more about, you know, want to know more about him, about their past, because I've heard some rumors that she alleged shit against him too, but I'm going to look into that a little bit more, obviously. I want to know the facts. But we do know that at his trial last week, so that's, she accused him of raping her in April of 2016. She alleged that he raped her in 2010, then in 2015, and then in 2016. Yet she stayed with him the whole time, which is odd. And she only, you know, came out and said that she was raped after he basically dumped her, right? They had a real estate deal. They were going to buy a house together. He backed out. And he had mentioned getting back together with his wife, etc. Now, the guy's name is Robert Sumber. He's no angel, let me tell you, right? Robert Sundberg, like a lot of police officers, was engaged in infidelity. And I don't mean to stereotype police officers, but it's like the job. Like, these people have extremely stressful jobs, and chicks dig cops, man. It's just a fact. And a lot of these guys, they can't keep their dick in places that it doesn't belong. And that's what happened with him. He was just this chick was giving him too much good shit, basically. But she's crazy. And so he dumps her, and he was supposed to go to Disney World with his ex-wife, because his mother wanted to take the kids to Disney World. He's got 3 kids, by the way. Wanted to take the kids and him to Disney World, and obviously the ex-wife's going to come because she's the mother of the kids. This chick finds out about it and loses her shit. And that is like the straw that broke the camel's back. I want to say the next day, she called the police, or she claimed that she was raped. Now, this could not have happened at a worse time, right? Since this has happened, and it's been dragging out in court, we've had a number of incidents in the news. Obviously, the 3 major trooper stories that we've broken, right? The overtime pay one, which to me is the least egregious, the Ali Bebo scandal, right? And the Leah Genduso scandal. All of those things have come up. We've seen other troopers arrested for various shit, and it's clear that they're just not being held accountable for their behavior a lot of the time, right? So, that's strike 1 he has to go against him. He's a state trooper. Strike 2 is he's a guy in the Me Too movement. I don't think race has anything to do with it. I think black men, Puerto Rican men, all men would be treated just as unfairly by our judicial system now. And he, as part of this whole Me Too thing, remember, during Kavanaugh, let's not forget that circus, right? The slogan was, believe women, unless those women are accusing Joe Biden or Justin Fairfax, right? That's their official slogan. So believe women. No matter what, we must believe them. So we got to believe her. She says she was raped. Now keep in mind, this woman is a trooper. She would know all of the things to say to get a conviction, all of them, right? And I was one of the first things I heard about this woman was her victim impact testimony. Now, did you guys following along right now hear this victim impact testimony? And I'd like to play it if you haven't heard it, because to me, it sounded very off when I heard it. Let's listen to it in a second, as soon as the FUPA computer stops being stupid. Oh, here we go. Come on. I'll turn it up here.
Speaking before you these words, it will give me some sense of closure that my heart and mind desires. Your Honor, I come before you today to describe the horrible...
Come on, FUPA computer. Give me a break. It's because I got this whole recording system going on. It fucks it up. One day I'm going to have like a real recording system.
And physical effects on my family and I due to Robert's crimes against me. As a former state trooper, Robert Sundberg swore to uphold the law, as I did, and to serve
Come on.
and protect the public.
I'm going to get to the good part. I'm going to see the crying part around 428, right?
The complete opposite. Robert abused his appointed power from the unfounded arrest that left me broke and emotionally and mentally exhausted. Your Honor, I believe that Sundberg is a cunning predator. He is a danger to others, my family, and I. Okay,
does that sound like somebody that's been raped? I mean, honestly, right? Like, I hear that, and it's like, Your Honor, it sounds like it's so forced. I've heard a lot of victim impact statements in court before, right? I've heard rape victims speak before. It is emotional, man. It is like heart-wrenching. It's like this sounds like terrible acting to me. Terrible acting. I don't know. Am I alone in this world? It just doesn't sound it. So she keeps going.
Just this weekend alone, I received a text on his behalf pressuring me to ask you for leniency at his sentencing. He just will not stop influencing others against me. He is remorseless and incapable of empathy or sympathy for my family and I. I continue to live in fear that I will always have to look over my shoulder, and I don't deserve that after he already tried to take my life.
Take my life.
I believe I deserve a start of a new life, free of nightmares.
It's just like, it's so, like, what? I can't believe this. Now, there is no physical evidence against him whatsoever. There's no rape kit, nothing, right? These people fucked more than anyone in the world, all right? How do I know this? Well, there was a lot of, first of all, let's start from the top, right? There's a sex tape. There's a sex tape. Now, I have not seen the sex tape, but I've read all about it in these documents right here, right? And this describes the sex tape, right, like scene by scene. It's pretty hot. And none of this was admitted into court, none of it. Because there's something called rape shield laws in this state. And rape shield laws basically try to prevent defense attorneys from slut-shaming legitimate victims of rape. However, there is certain evidence that can be admitted, even with the rape shield law. For instance, like if there was, bruising on, her inner thigh or something like that, right? And you wanted to prove, like, ask her, like, were you at a basketball game, something like that, right? Were you riding a pony, shit like that. Or maybe she engages in dangerous, reckless behavior, etc. And this stuff would certainly seem to qualify. Now, I have not blogged about this stuff, but just to reward some of you guys for, because you guys should get more shit for coming on here. Let me read some shit to you on here that's really going to blow your mind. I got the whole thing, man. It's wild. Let me pull it up. All right. 'Cause I'm not going to do the whole thing. I want to leave you antsy a little bit. Well, wait till you see this shit. Okay, so the whole basis of her case, right, is that she is afraid. This is what the state says. That he exhibited frequent controlling behavior and emotional abuse, which included any of the following: checking Angie Guerrero's phone to make sure she was not speaking with any male coworkers. Calling unknown numbers of male coworkers to confront them as to why that person was having contact with Angela Guerrero. Constantly texting or calling Angela Guerrero and or her friends when she was out with friends to ensure that she was not speaking with other men. Accusing Angie Guerrero of cheating on her. So what they're saying here is that, like, the reason that he raped her was because he was a jealous psychopath. That is what they're going with. Now, it's really hard to prove rape at this point, so what they're going to try to do is try to show that he is a dangerous psychopath, right? That this is the same exact shit they did with Brett Kavanaugh. It's the same shit, right? They could not prove that this Brett Kavanaugh sexually assaulted anyone. It was made up. So what did they do? They tried to smear Brett Kavanaugh's name. How'd they do that? Well, they interviewed somebody that said that Brett Kavanaugh drinks too much, or that he parties too much. Then they went through his yearbook, and they tried to find out what boofing means, and Devil's Triangle, and all this shit. That's what they try to do with this guy. And all they have to do, right, is get it into the minds of 12 jurors that this guy over here is bad news, right? And guess what? This guy's got a lot of character flaws, right? He's a drunk, quite frankly. And so is she. They're both drunks. These people drank way too much, both of them. They drank and drove too much, both of them. She got a DUI a few months after he was arrested. Sounds like she was really grieving. She's out partying and drinking. And by the way, she was found not guilty of that DUI because it was moved to Quincy District Court, which is one of the most notoriously lenient courthouses in Massachusetts, right? She claims she exonerated herself, that somebody falsely called up, whatever. Don't worry. I'm going to find that arrest report once the fucking day shift chick at the Acton Police Department comes back from whatever vacation she's on. You got that? The whole town of Acton has 21,000 people. The police department only has one person that can work the window. That's insane. That's insane. Like, there's no subs. No one else can do it. No one else in town can work the records department except for this one chick who was out until Thursday. So hopefully I'll be getting that arrest report soon. I've also requested the videotape of her booking, right? That's going to show a lot. That's often what defense attorneys use to get their clients off of DUIs, right? Is if they can get the booking video and they're not swaying and shit. My guess is she was swaying, like the 4 o'clock breeze, right? She was, when they pulled her over, the Acton police pulled her over, they asked for a license. She hands them the state police badge. She does this a lot, right? So these two are no saints. They were in a volatile, highly sexual relationship, right? Now, but she says the reason he did this, right? Why? Is because he was jealous of her, right? Well, you tell me if this is jealous. Let me read some to you all. Let me see what this is. The following, and this, remember, this is not submitted into testimony. The evidence that which follows is inconsistent and undercuts with the Commonwealth's premise that this was a relationship marked by sexual violence, physical violence, and fear. Moreover, it calls into the question the Commonwealth's characterization of the jealous as a violent, jealous, and controlling individual. Sexual intercourse between the defendant and Angela Guerrera that was consensually audio and videotaped by the parties. The Commonwealth has been provided with a videotape depicting a sexual liaison between Mr. Sundberg and Angela Guerrera on December 14th, 2015. So this is after she's been raped twice. They're making sex tapes. The evidence depicts, and by the way, I've never seen the tape, right? And the tape was not, to my knowledge, submitted into court because this was not submitted into evidence, right? However, his lawyers would not make this up, right? Because push comes to shove, this gets admitted, they got to show the tape, right? So obviously there's a tape, and they're not lying about it. The evidence depicts sexual, consensual contact after an alleged long-term systematic history of rape and other sexual and physical assaults. The video footage, which can be redacted, demonstrates a loving and consensual intimate relationship. So it's hot. It is relevant on the issue of the alleged victim's credibility and demonstrates the existence of a tender and caring relationship. Right? This video is highly relevant. It gets better. And probative. And should be viewed by the jury in order to determine her credibility. Furthermore, on the issue of the complaining witnesses, now listen to this, on the issue of the complaining witnesses' credibility or lack thereof, in her statement to investigators, she said that the videotape was made without her knowledge or consent. So she's telling the cops, I didn't know I was being taped, right? That's what she told them, right? This is her own testimony. So if the defense can prove she's lying about that, you lie about one thing, you lie about everything. Right? She knew about this tape. Well, how do we know she knows about this tape? Here's how. The audio portion of the video clearly and unequivocally establishes with unmistakable clarity that she was fully aware of the fact that their activities were being audio and video recorded. In fact, on the video itself, she is heard asking Mr. Sundberg, quote, "Can we record it?" Near the conclusion of the video, she is heard to remark after her sexual climax, "Fuck. Oh, I got the camera. I mean the phone. You gotta dry that off." You got that? She's a squirter. She got cunny juice all over the camera. And not only that, she acknowledged it on the video. She knew it, like, oh, fuck, I fucked up her sex tape with my pussy juice. That's what she said. And it's all on tape. And none of this was admitted into evidence. There is so much more. As for the jealous boyfriend shit, It gets better. It gets better. Right? There's an incident, and I'll kind of leave you hanging. I'll give you some teasers. There was a gangbang. He watched another guy fuck her in front of him. So that kind of, it's hard to be a jealous boyfriend if you're letting your friends fuck your girlfriend. Right? A little bit. Also, they went to a sex party in which she was the only chick and a bunch of strippers came. And she lied down on the floor, put a dildo in her mouth. And then the stripper came over and inserted the dildo into her hoo-hoo, right, while it was still in her mouth. Right? This chick is a freak. Is a sex freak. Right? She likes it hard. She likes it freaking dirty. She likes to break the rules. She broke up a marriage. She destroyed her own marriage. She's a crazy, crazy bitch. On top of that, she has threatened to kill herself several times. If you recall, Leah Genduso had her gun taken from her as the second. We've all read Leah's book, right? In Leah's book, she states that she mentions killing herself. And what do? Code red. The first thing the cops do, take your guns. Take your guns. They have not taken this woman's guns. She's still armed, right? And she's suicidal. She's fucking insane. Insane. So, it's scary, man. I'm not going to lie. It's scary being a man in 2019, baby. People make fun of Mike Pence all the time. The left does. Fuck them, right? Bunch of hypocrites. Mike Pence, he's such a tool. He's such a fucking prude, misogynist. He only goes out with his wife. He doesn't eat dinner with other women. That's an insult to women. Fuck you. Mike Pence is the safest person in America right now. Mike Pence is the only person in America that will never be accused of sexual assault or anything devious. You do not need to have any evidence to be convicted of a rapist. Nothing. Right? To me, all of this is relevant information, but you can't do it because you can't smear the person who's accusing you of rape for some reason. What if he had accused her of rape? Right? Would she not be able to bring up all the shit she brought up about him? Is it like whoever gets there first? This is insane. This is a woman judge, by the way. A woman ADA. In my opinion, where he fucked up is his lawyers were too good. And she uses that against him. She whines about it in this tape. She says, he hired these high-priced defense attorneys who questioned me on the stand. Yeah, bitch, of course they did. His life is on the line. Fuck, you think you're walking in? Oh, and he didn't plead guilty. Oh, what the fuck's he supposed to be guilty for? Something he didn't do? Now, I have no proof that this guy did not do that. None. But I don't need you don't need proof that somebody didn't commit a crime. You need proof that somebody did commit a crime. And you're telling me that if one of those 12 members of that jury heard what I just read to you all, that she's a liar, that they're making sex tapes after she's been raped twice, right? That she participated in. They're going to friggin' dildo parties. She's sticking strippers, dildos inside strippers and shit. Are you kidding me? There's no way, guys. No way. So, yeah. Anyway, you guys have any questions about this? I'm going to get more and more into this story. There is so much to this story, let me tell you, that we haven't even touched on yet that we're going to find out about. I've spoken with troopers. I've spoken with lawyers. I've spoken with people that were in the courtroom for these proceedings. I'm in the process of getting the transcripts for this. I'm going to do this one up right. Let me tell you. So, yeah. So anyway, we'll touch more on that later. I want to talk now about the Turtlegram and Gazette and what they've been doing. So this, as you guys know, when this blog started, we did a lot of Worcester stuff, like a lot of Worcester political stuff. Now, I know a lot of you guys aren't from the Worcester area. When the blog first started, though, it was very Worcester-centric. Most of our readers were from Worcester or, Worcester County at the most, right? We only had a few readers from outside. But obviously that's changed since then. But, a Worcester boy is still going to be attached to Worcester shit. Now, we killed. A big reason we stopped blogging about Worcester is we won, right? these people were trying to like take over the schools and wanted cops out of the schools and said that they were racist and all this shit and blah, 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 blah. So anyway, we got Mosaic gone. We, that shady nonprofit, we exposed them. We took them down. We got the superintendent, Melinda Boone, to resign in disgrace and leave town, right? And we got a couple problematic people kicked off the school committee, like Tracy Novick and Hilda Ramirez, replaced them with more sensible people. We got a superintendent in there named Maureen Benenda. Now, Mrs. Benenda is a great lady, right? Now, I went to South High School in Worcester, and South High School is the most diverse high school you can imagine. You walk into South High, and you're greeted by, like, over 100 flags representing nationalities of either current or former students, right? And, as a English-speaking white kid at South High, I was the minority. And that's fine. I don't care. Like, you don't think about stuff like that as a kid. You're just like, well, I'm the one. I go to school with a lot of kids who don't look like me. Here we are, right? People that go to inner city schools tend, in my opinion, to be a lot less racist. When I started teaching at Shepherd Hill, there were a lot of kids that just didn't know what they could and couldn't say around other people. There was a lot of kids at Shepherd Hill that dropped N-words. You grow up in South High, you know better than that, right? And so being at this school, you're exposed to a lot of shit. And I was exposed to a lot of, I'm not going to lie. In my classes, I was in honors classes, right? My classes were almost everyone was white or Asian, particularly tons of Asians, right? And, oh, man, I used to copy their homework all the time. I had this guy, Tree Lee, in class, and Tree Lee, I would never have graduated. Like, I would have graduated, but I wouldn't have got, like, B's and shit without Tree Lee. I'd come in there, oh, you forgot to do your homework again? Oh, you so dumb. And making fun of me, and then, like, Tree, just give me your homework. Come on, let me copy that shit real quick. Every fucking day. But it was humorous. The Asians loved me. Remind me sometime, I'll have to show you guys my yearbook picture. I was in I jumped in all the clubs, including the Asian club. So there's all these, Vietnamese kids, and then me, kind of right in the middle, big smile. They love me. So anyway, what we did not have a lot of in our class were Latinos. Even though Latino was the prominent, racial group at South High School. Now, this is for, whatever. Like, in our society, Puerto Ricans tend to be not as socioeconomically well off, right? There are a multitude of reasons for that. Unlike African Americans, they can't blame it on, slavery or Jim Crow or anything like that. But in my opinion, it's just a cultural thing, right? Like, Puerto Rico's an island. People don't, that matters, right? When you grow up on an island, you have a different mentality than other people, right? Like, island mentality is much more laid back, much more slower pace. If you've ever been to Jamaica, right? I've been to Jamaica before. It takes fucking 3 hours to get breakfast. Oh, yeah, no problem, man. No problem. Only situation. They take their yeah, man. Everything is slower, right? Because they don't have city life and bustling and hustling. And we're all, in America, we're always trying to, like, outdo each other to, climb the rat race and all this shit. That doesn't happen in Puerto Rico. That doesn't happen in Jamaica. And so a lot of people from those islands that come to this country, Mexicans are different. I mean, Mexicans often come here, right? And they come here to work fucking the jobs that Americans don't want to do. They're working in freaking fields in California, picking grapes and shit, right? Because Mexico's not an island. I'm telling you, it's an island thing. And so, a lot of, for whatever reasons existed, and that's not saying all Puerto Ricans are like that, but I'm just trying to explain generally, demographically, why this one particular group of people were not excelling in school like Asian people who are. It is a cultural thing. Asian people, let's not forget, like, I'm sorry, you come here for real shit. Asian culture is like the best culture in the world when it comes to, like, performance, right? They don't take shit. Like, during World War II, kamikaze pilots, there's a reason they kamikazed, right? Because it was, like, shameful to come back, right? The Asian culture is a culture of pride and shame. It's one or the other. And you don't want to be the guy that shames the dad with the B+. It's just a fact. That's the way a lot of these kids were raised, right? because they've all escaped communist Vietnam or Laos or whatever, and they came here and they just want their kids to work their fucking asses off and get good grades and enjoy America. That's it. So, I forget where I was going with this. Latino kids tended not to do as well in school consequently as a result of this. And they misbehaved a lot more, right? I mean, growing up, it was like freaking, I didn't grow up in Maine South. A lot of these kids lived in Maine South, right? And this was not my neighborhood. I went to Tatney School. It was a mostly white school for elementary school. Then I got mixed in with all these kids who didn't look like me by the time I got there. It was like culture shock. But I got used to it, and it was like very different, right? A lot of these kids disrespected their teachers. That's not saying white kids didn't do it too. A lot of white kids did too. I just want to make that perfectly clear. This is not like all Puerto Ricans are bad and all white kids are good. But disproportionately, Puerto Rican kids misbehaved at a rate that was significantly higher than all other racial groups. That's just a fact. Anybody who's ever been in a Worcester public school knows that. You're denying yourself, you're denying reality if you cannot accept that fact, right? So it should be surprising to no one then that Latino students suffer or are suspended at higher rates, right? That they are graduate at lower rates, right, etc. Obviously, I mean, if the data didn't come back like that, I'd be like, something's up, right? Because I've seen it. Like, I know how this works. Now, Mrs. Benenda could have worked any school she wanted to, but she worked in South High School for like 40 years because she was dedicated to those kind of kids who came from troubled backgrounds. I had very little interaction with Mrs. Benenda when I was at South High School. Why? Because I wasn't the kind of student that she was trying to reach. She wasn't trying to reach fucking, white kids with blonde hair. We were all set. I wasn't going to be, like, she knew that, like, I was going to go to college and be fine. She was there to help, like, all the kids that were always in her office and that she was trying to provide with guidance were kids that were struggling, right? And often they were Latino. And she's done tremendous work at that school. She runs this Andy's Attic program, which provides clothing for kids that their families do not come from means. They actually partner with Shrewsbury High School. She set that whole alliance up. She's done God's work over at South High School. She has done more work for the Latino community than all of these activists combined. Yet these people now, these activists like Dante Comparetto and all these other idiots, and this is a nationwide thing. It's not just Worcester, right? And so, like, Worcester politics is like a microcosm of society as a whole, right? Dante Comparetto is our version of AOC. That's the best way I can describe it. The mayor, Joe Petty, would be like Nancy Pelosi, like this mainstream Democrat who he needs the votes of the fucking nut jobs, so he kind of goes along with their bullshit a lot, has no spine, right, etc. Who are our, Mitch McConnells of the world? We don't have any. There's no Republicans in Worcester. So it is what... We had Gaffney for a while, but then he turned into a nut job. So now we just got no one. So that's the state of Worcester right now. And as a result, all of these nut jobs are coming that I buried. I put them in a hole 4 years ago. They're all coming back now. They're all coming back. So, and they're going after her specifically. Why? Because they don't like her because she's white. Let's be honest. They don't like this entrenched white woman who's been in the school department for years to be in charge of a minority-run school district. She's not woke enough. And, suspension rates for Latinos are twice as high as white students. And so, obviously, that they must be racist, right? It could not possibly be because Latino students are misbehaving at higher rates than white students, right? The only logical conclusion that they can reach, right, is that it's racism. It's just such a lazy argument, right? It's like, and you're going to blame her for that? None of these people on this group, and I'm going to be doing a blog on this, right, exposing some of these douchebags, they're all just the same numbnuts that I buried 4 years ago, and now they're like blaming her for all this, that she doesn't care enough about Latino students, and they want cops out of schools, and she wants cops in schools, which was a huge success, etc. So it just really pisses me off. And so the Telegram Gazette's been doing a few articles about it, and I commented on it yesterday using the Clarence account. And I said, Mrs. Benenda has done more for the community than all of these activists combined. Today, the comment got like 50-something likes. Today I go over the page, I'm blocked. I can't comment on the Telegram's Facebook page. And these are the same whiny people who will complain that, oh, Donald Trump is, he doesn't want you to trust the media. He's trying to censor free speech, blah, blah, blah. Huh? I posted a political opinion on a matter of public concern about something that I'm pretty familiar with. I've taught for 11 years. Let's keep that in mind. I know Mrs. Benenda. And I leave a comment and you block me? So now what the Telegram is actively essentially doing now is acting as an activist, an arm of the community, right? Like, they're not just reporting news, they're censoring news that they don't agree with, censoring opinions. And that, my friends, is a threat to democracy. These people. And this is why we need Turtle Boy, guys. Imagine a life where just they got to control the narrative. Imagine if I didn't have this voice that I had now to explain these things and expose these things. It would go silent. That's why Turtle Boy is important. And that's why we need your support, guys. Like, we could not do this without, your support. I did my taxes today. Fine, I'm a last minute kind of guy. Met with my accountant. And I got to get creative this year. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't make shit in advertising anymore. I make almost nothing. I've been blacklisted by everything. I'm in the market. I need like a salesman. I've been looking for one for a while. Somebody that can, go out and bring advertisers to the website. I'm not gonna lie, I did something. So, because we're almost completely dependent now on, donations. Like, it sucks. It sucks, but it is what it is. And that's like the Telegram you got to pay for, right? I don't want to. I'm not gonna do a paywall. That's stupid. Paywalls, right? But that's how they stay afloat. They have paywalls. And I don't want to do that. I really don't. So I really appreciate, your support. I could not do this without you guys. So yeah, it is what it is. Let's see what people are saying. Let me read some of your comments here. Yeah, I saw the Telegram was filled with free clearance, and then they started deleting them all. You guys see that? Like, hundreds of people started writing free clearance on there, and then I go back, and they're all gone. Most of them. Back to topic, good. Yeah. All right, let's see what people... So many comments. I know, it's pretty insane over there. Let's see what else people are saying. People are talking about porkies and shit. Did I win this? This week. Oh, David, thank you for bringing that up. I meant to do a blog about this too. So, the March Madness tournament, for those of you into this shit, it's down. There's only 2 people that can win now. Me and David LeClaire. Right? There's like 200 people that joined. Why? Because we're the only ones that picked Auburn. I got 3 of the Final 4 right. I'm the only person that got 3 out of Final 4 right. The only one I didn't have was Texas Tech. I had Michigan State, and almost everyone in the mother had Duke. And that's worth twice as much because they're a 2 seed and we multiply. I had Virginia. That was like my one safe 1 seed. You got to pick 1 seed. They got in. I also had Auburn, and he had Auburn too. And we multiply the points, which is 8 in the Final 4, times the seed. Auburn's a 5 seed. That was worth 40 points. I went from like 39th to 3rd. And so here, I've done the math with this. Actually, I think there might be one other person that can win. There's one other guy that can win too. Basically, David, he has Villanova winning the whole thing. So he can't get any more points from that. However, he's got Villanova beating Texas Tech. That would be 42 more points for him if Texas Tech gets to the finals. Who do I have in the finals? I got Michigan State against Virginia, with Virginia winning. So, basically, if it's Texas Tech, against Virginia, and I got Virginia winning the whole thing, he's going to beat me. He's going to beat me because Texas Tech is a 3 seed, and you multiply his points by 3, and I got Virginia and they're 1 seed. And so if Texas Tech beats Michigan State, he wins the whole thing. If Michigan State beats them, which they're the slight favorite, then I will win as long as I was doing the scenarios out. Now, I think I automatically win him. I think so. It's basically me and him. So it doesn't matter. That Virginia-Auburn game pretty much doesn't matter. It's all down to the other one. Me and him. Let's do it, buddy. Let's do it. Me and you. So, and by the way, so I owe you, David, Turtle Boy. David, I don't know if you've read the book, the I Am Turtle Boy book. The last guy, I was going to offer him that won after 2 rounds. I was going to offer him free gear or whatever. He's like, you got the book? I'm like, yeah. I send him the book. If you don't have the book, I can send you the book, or just message Clarence, and I'll get you whatever you want. You can get clothing, or you can get the book, whatever you want. All right? So, yeah, I haven't mailed out them. I'm going to do the Ratchet Madness brackets tomorrow. Either way, when you fill them out, you don't have to do the 16 seed playing games anyway, which is the first round. The first round is going to begin tomorrow, so I might put it up tonight. We'll see. But that's definitely starting ASAP. And I will email everybody that emailed me asking for it. I have the book digital. I'll take a copy. Okay, yeah, I'll send you the copy. I'll send you the hard one. Yeah. Who runs the Turtle Boy Army group? I'm in there, but apparently we don't have clearance to post. Yeah, I have no idea who runs that page. I think that's just a fan page. I'm not even involved in that, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't think I am. Oh, MJob29 started the book this week. He loves it. I'm glad you like it, man. Right? How much of the percentage of sweatshirts do you get? Is it better to just donate? Yeah, if you're looking to help, it's definitely better to donate. Like, we make much less than half on the sweatshirts because it's like the production, the shipping and shit, etc. So don't feel like, if you want to support us and your goal, don't feel like you're like, well, I got to buy this shit I don't really want. Nah, just donate. I mean, it's much easier just to donate. All right. Any other questions? Is Brett ever coming back? Yeah, I mean, Brett will come back hopefully after his whole court shit is resolved. He's got that coming up soon. Any other questions you guys have? Yeah, Patreon could be a steady revenue stream, but here's the thing. What would I even offer on Patreon, right? A lot of people that do Patreons offer, like, content that the rest of the readers don't get. And so, ultimately, what would I offer, right? Like, can you think of something? Like, you wouldn't pay for this freaking podcast, right? And I wouldn't want you to. So, I wouldn't even know what to offer. And, like, I wouldn't want to put, like, really good blogs behind a paywall, because the really good blogs are the ones I want to be shared widely. You know what I mean? So ultimately, I'd be offering the crappy blogs for money, which why would you pay for that? You know what I mean? I've thought about that, but it's tough to figure out what I'd even do. Hello from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Hello, Thomas. Welcome aboard. What's Brett's deal? I missed why he's gone from live. You're going to have to go back and read about it, Casey. It would take them two full shows to explain that whole story. Any other questions you guys have before we call it a night here? Bracket voting starting tomorrow? Yeah, I mean, people that have asked for a bracket, I'm going to email them tonight to you. And yeah, you can start voting on that. Fill your own out. I'm not like collecting them and shit. It's kind of like a play at home kind of thing. Etc. Why is Candy Dennis a 16? It's tough, man. I mean, Candy Dennis, it was tough. That's the best way I can describe it. She might not even win her playing game. Who knows? What she did was certainly ratchet, but, like, she's not, like, there are many aspects of being a ratchet. She doesn't really fulfill the ghetto aspect of it. She more fulfills the pathological liar aspect of being a ratchet. So I would say she's not like completely 100,000% ratchet yet. I don't think anyone in this field really stands out as like so ratchet. right? Like they have in previous like the Fall River Gutter Muppet was so ratchet. So ratchet. So yeah. Where are my tacos? I don't think I have any. Can you do Ratchet Madness releases every Tuesday and Thursday? Probably gonna do it every day. But why do you like that? Let us see what people are saying. What's the deal with the Sox? They look like garbage. Yeah, they're like 1-4. Give me a break, Nicholas. I mean, it's a freaking baseball season, it's a long season. In 2011, the Red Sox started off 0-6. A lot of people forget that. And then they won like 1,000 games in a row. That was the year we had Carl Crawford. And they were in first place by like 10 games going into September. And then they had one of the most epic collapses in baseball history. My point being, though, that the first 6 games of the season do not dictate the season. Certainly not. Yeah, Moby Trick, I forgot about her. She was a great ratchet. Great ratchet. So you can talk about them or do updates on YouTube. Yeah, I'll be talking about it. We're going to be doing them every day, though, Junkman. That's my point. All right, any last-minute questions before we call it a night here? Yeah, the email, Amanda, is turtleboysports@gmail.com. turtleboysports@gmail.com. Why aren't you in the basement tonight? I don't know. I just felt like getting in the car. I'm not going to lie. All right. Are there any more? Yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be a lot more in this one. That shit I read for you tonight. I haven't even published any of that. I got a lot more of that. A lot more of that. Oh, believe me, it's all getting published. You kidding me? You think I'm not going to publish all that? Whew. All right, guys, so that's going to be it for tonight. We will see you all on Thursday. All right? Peace.